On today's Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show, the Bucks took on the Iowa Barnstormers in their home finale. We've got the highlights from the finale at the event center. Plus, we'll check in on scores from around and standings from around the league as we close in on the IFL postseason. Plus, a look ahead at the Bucks bye and final game with one of our very own broadcasters, Noah Reed. It's all coming up on this week's Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show, which starts right now. Hello everyone, welcome inside our Beck Studios. I'm your host David Sugarman, and this is the Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show. Following a 10-point loss to Quad City, the Bucks returned to Bismarck for their final home game of the season, hoping to give the home fans one last thing to cheer about and snap a 9-game losing streak when they took on the Iowa Barnstormers. Bucks and Barnstormers getting ready to go at it. Bucks opening drive stalled out after a couple of big plays. Kicker Nick Dorka, 26-yarder. Bucks with the early 3-0 lead. Iowa's first possession, 3rd down and 5 at midfield. Quarterback Darius James Peterson with a little bit of time zips one to wideout Zach Parker. Touchdown, 7-3. Iowa leads. On the ensuing kickoff, been a big few weeks for this guy. Rob Brown. Great starting field position for Bismarck. Nearly took it to the house like he did a couple of weeks ago. Instead, it'll be 1st and goal at the 4. Anxious moments, though. Ended up being 4th and goal. Quarterback Giovanni Sanders in his first home game hooks up with one of his newest targets. Wide out, Jerome Gross III. First touchdown as a Buck. Bismarck in front 9-7 after a missed PAT. Let's go to the second quarter. Yeah, keep that football. You're going to want it, Jerome. Second quarter, Iowa, second goal at the 1-yard line. They go to the defensive lineman. A big man TD for Dave Calderon. 1-yard touchdown, Iowa. Back on top, 13-9. Next Bismarck drive. Sanders starting to get comfortable in this offense. Finds Edgar Allan Poe Jr. the shoelace catch for the 6-yard score. Already the 4th lead change of the ball game. Great entertaining first half. 16-13, Bismarck on top. This time, Peterson keeps it on the read. 8-yard touchdown. Peterson's second score of the half. Back and forth half continues. Iowa up 20-16. Time expiring just before the half now. Gabe Rui going to cash in from 31 yards out. Got a 1-touchdown deficit going into the locker room, 23-16. After Iowa forced the safety to put the lead at 9, running back Antonio Wimbush darts in, gets the sideline, 18-yard touchdown, 19 unanswered, 32-16, Iowa on top. Early 4th quarter, Bismarck in need of some kind of score. Sanders going to follow a couple of blocks and dash into the end zone. 6-yard score, his first on the ground, 3rd total touchdown, grittying his way into a much closer ball game. 2-point try is good, 32-24. Later, Bucks D-line coming up with a big stop. Jaden Dobbs and Jeff Branch combined for the sack. Iowa has to settle for a field goal, 35-24. Bismarck now driving in Iowa territory. Sanders, little too high for Poe, intercepted by J.R. Stevens. His team leading 5th INT of the season halts the Bismarck scoring try. Later, after another Iowa touchdown, just over 2 minutes to play, Sanders runs it in from a yard out, his second rushing touchdown, 42-30. After the touchdown, Bismarck got to go for an onside kick. Unfortunately, the former Valley City State product, Marshawn Jones, recovers and runs it back for the touchdown. Iowa takes this one 49-30. Iowa improves to 7-6. Bucks drop to 3-12. Here's what some of the newer Bucks had to say after the fact.
We started out good. We just didn't finish strong. And I feel as though that was one of our big things. But coming on this bye week, we just want to finish strong, you know, get a nice team win and finish out the season.
It's just a lot of new guys coming in, trying to fill in spots that were open, and we're basically trying to just get everything collected together and make it the best.
Some other scores from around the IFL this week. Good game between Quad City and Vegas. Steamwheelers come away with a big 1-point win on the road, 57-56. Frisco, no problems with Green Bay Blizzard, 50-27, handling their business at home. Elsewhere, Pirates by 2 touchdowns over Sioux Falls in a high-scoring affair, 69-55. Northern Arizona takes care of business at home, staying on top of the West, 49-41, and Tucson gets beaten up on by Arizona, 54-24. Iowa takes down Bismarck, like we mentioned, 49-30. Time for our first break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll sit down with Bucks head coach Rod Miller. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show on Beck Sports.
Now you can have the personalized forecast at your fingertips when you need it. Beck's exclusive Weather Insight is information tailored to you. Radar, weather alerts, forecasts, and videos. Download the free Weather on Beck News app. Search your app store now.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. Travel the country with Trent on the loose, and we'll find those interesting human interest stories behind the people that bring us the efficient food supply. Trent on the loose.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
Welcome back inside the Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show, joined by head coach Rod Miller. Coach, thanks for joining up with us on the bye week.
Always glad to be here.
Coach, unfortunately came up short, but another great example of the team battling back in the second half to give themselves a chance to win. I know the back half of the season hasn't gone the way you were hoping. Right. However, how proud are you of the way the team has fought despite some of the games and results?
You know, they're staying greedy. They're still fighting. You know, nobody's giving up, and they're still playing. You know, again, I said, unfortunately, like I said, when you're going through these learning curves with younger players, you know, you got to learn how to win and how to finish. You know, we're trying to compete. We're competing. We're just not finishing. And an overthrow here, a bad read here and there, those things come back to haunt you. So, you know, we're learning, unfortunately, you know, we're learning the hard way and taking, you know, losses along the way, but we're being competitive. But, you know, that's hopefully building for the future that these guys are learning from these mistakes.
Several newcomers over the last few weeks, and one who had a big game is defensive back Draco Statham. Led the team with 11 tackles, also 3 pass breakups. How excited are you about his addition?
Well, he's doing well. You know, he's a guy that we tried to target early in the season, and he didn't come. He played in a CIF, you know, and they finished up their season, and he's probably going to be, you know, first team All-State, maybe Defensive Player of the Year in that league. So to get him at the end of the season was good for us to get him in here and get him acclimated and see what he could do, and he's doing well. You know, he's doing as he's proved on film.
How much does it help, especially with some of the struggles late in the season, to have some new energy and some new guys coming in to shake things up a little bit?
You know, you need that. Sometimes you can't get complacency, you know, especially if you get used to this. You want to try to get some new sparks, some new blood to get things going, you know, and keep trying to get better every week. So we're not stopping trying to get better. We're not stopping improving the team. I don't care if it's week 11, 12, 13, or 14. You always still try to improve, and that's what we're doing.
With all the new pieces coming in, with only a couple of games left, how much evaluating for next season is there going on right now?
A lot of that is what we're doing. We're evaluating, looking to see the pieces that could help us, pieces that we may need to, replace. So all those things we're looking at, like I say, no, we're not going, unfortunately, make the playoffs this year, but now our goal is what do we do to make the playoffs next season and to improve our team, and that starts with this process right now.
One area this past week against Iowa where the team struggled a little bit was defending the run. Gave up 142 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. What was Iowa able to do that you'll try and tweak before the last game?
I know we had some missed tackles. We had some guys out of place. I know they had a new scheme to try to put into place, and unfortunately they capitalized on some situations. Guys were out of place to make tackles, and they made a move and got away from somebody. So we have to improve being on our right lanes, being our lane integrity, and on our gaps that we're supposed to be. And when we make contact, get an initial tackle and getting the guy down.
Unfortunately, it was the final home game of the season. Fans did come out and support this year. What would be your message to the fans who came out and were at a lot of games this year?
I appreciate the fans. The fans are with us, from day one, good or bad, and they roll with us. And that's the thing I do appreciate. The fans of Bismarck have been there. Unfortunately, like I said, last year we had a good season and went to the playoffs. This year, unfortunately, we didn't make it to the playoffs. Kind of like that Super Bowl syndrome. You make it to the Super Bowl, the next year they don't make the playoffs. So, it's been kind of disappointing, but our fans have been there for us and support us. And, I definitely appreciate the fans still cheering us on, game by game and week by week.
No doubt, always appreciate the Horny Bucks and
yes.
all of their effort throughout the season.
Yes.
Kind of odd timing with the bye week right before your last game of the year. How will you try and take advantage of that this week?
Trying to get a couple guys that are banged up, get them healthy, just kind of mentally get a mental break and get guys focused back up. And that's our thing. So guys, take a break, still stay in shape. Guys are still running, throwing on their own because we can't have organized practices during the bye week. But they're doing that on their own to stay sharp. And then we're going to come out next week and practice and go out and, like I said, try to do the right thing and get a victory.
When you come down the stretch of a season, no matter how it went, what are the emotions like knowing that in a couple of weeks, season's over?
Yeah, that's always a tough part. I mean, the season, off season, you can't wait to get started. Then the season goes on, you drag, you start getting mentally and physically tired. And then you get towards the end, it's like you tell the guys, reality is about to hit soon. Back to the real world for a lot of these guys and going back and working their 9-to-5s. And, football now becomes second nature. So it's tough. You got to get ready to adjust it for it. But, again, that's what makes the off season strong and better because now you got something to build on, to develop on, and to motivate you to get better.
I know still one game left, still the bye week here, but when you think about this group, what stands out that you're going to miss the most knowing that not everyone comes back every year?
With these guys, I would say the grit and integrity. These guys show character. We're in a losing streak, but these guys still show up for practice. They still have a right attitude, and that's what it's going to take. Things like this, like I said, you're always going to learn something. We're learning character. These guys are developing character, and those are things that you look at. Unfortunately, we have to, but, any situation, win or lose, you're always going to learn something. And these guys are learning how to develop character, how to carry themselves in the face of adversity, and that what carries on past the football field and into life.
Coming down the stretch, the bye week, then one final game on the road at Northern Arizona. What's the code word for this week?
Our code word is finish. We want to go out and finish. Our goal when we started was to have a quality football team, and we want to finish with the same thought process. We want to come out, practice hard, perform hard, and come out and finish on a high note. But the main thing is we want to finish with pride, finish with character, and finish competing and get a victory.
Finish is the key word for the week. Obviously, we are out of VIP turf tables to give because the Bucks are out of home games. However, we'll still be giving out some great Bucks swag and prizes. So continue to participate in our keyword challenge. Take the keyword finish to Bismarck Bucks Football on Facebook, at Bismarck Bucks on Twitter, and at Bismarck_Bucks on Instagram for a chance for some cool Bucks swag and prizes here over the last couple of weeks of the season. Once again, the keyword is finish. Coach, thanks so much. Enjoy the bye week and the downtime.
I definitely will.
Head coach Rod Miller. We're going to take a short break and come back and dive a little bit more into this week's matchup from this week's past matchup against the Iowa Barnstormers. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show.
Beck News is your leader in local. Beck specials and live information for you. Original programming. Exclusive local sports. Beck is local for you. Uncensored topics and uncensored opinions. unapologetic politics, where all sides are represented. Full episodes online anytime at beck.news. All in one network. Your leader in local, Beck News.
Nick Bolton here with the latest from Bell & Howell. We call them tack glasses. Inspired by the sunglasses worn by our heroes in uniform, tack glasses block blinding glare so well, invisible objects suddenly become visible. Enhance colors to give you vision as sharp as an eagle's and survive even the harshest conditions. Look, ordinary sunglasses just make things darker, which could be deadly in a tactical situation. Tack glasses improve optical clarity so you can see clearly, even in low light. If you've never seen how this light filtering technology works, check this out. Nothing to see, right? But look again as we hold up our tack glasses. A colorful American eagle is revealed. Amazing!
Act now to get your tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. So don't delay. Order yours today.
To order, call 1-800-288-9503. That's 1-800-288-9503, or order online at trytackglasses.com. 1-800-288-9503.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back inside the Coaches Show here with our Bucks broadcaster, Noah Reed. Noah, first of all, thanks for joining us. Second of all, you were on the call this week. This was a one-possession game at the half. Bucks end up losing by 19. Where did this one get away from them?
Yeah, Bucks were also up late in the second quarter as well, too. So it kind of started falling apart, I guess you could say, right around the end of the second quarter. And Iowa went on at one point and scored 19 consecutive points. They had trouble stopping the run, the Bucks did. The Bucks were up 3 late in the second quarter, and by the end of that 19-0 run, it was 16-point lead in the fourth quarter. And they made it close at times, and I think the effort was still there at all times, but struggled a little bit to stop the run, and then kind of made some bad decisions late, where some turnovers on some drives where they were scoring running down the field, had some opportunities to make this game close, to get back into it, but a couple turnovers, plays like this on the onside kick where it got returned and scored. Just a little bit of a troubling second half for the Bucks after what was a really good start to the game.
Seems like this past game was a little bit of a microcosm of the Bucks season. It's sort of a close but no cigar type scenario. Despite the 10-game losing streak, where have you been impressed with the Bucks' effort?
Yeah, I really have, because you get in a stretch like this, and it would be pretty easy to fold or not play very hard, and just if you get down a touchdown or two early in the game, just kind of let the other team have it, right? When you've lost 10 consecutive games, you're just not getting that. In these 10 losses, 7 of those games have been within 10 points or less, and 5 of them have been by one possession. So they're really close. And I know that I've been on this show and said the same thing 2 or 3 times now, where they're really close, they're on the cusp, but it has just felt like that. And you've never once thought, man, this team just doesn't care, or this team doesn't have the energy or the effort to play in these games. It's there week after week. They get down early, they come back. This past week they had a good start, just couldn't quite finish things off.
A lot of new faces over the last couple of weeks. You got quarterback Giovanni Sanders, couple of receivers. Who has stood out to you from this new group that maybe the Bucks would hope to come back next season?
I'm actually going the other side of the football, on the defensive side, with Draco Statham. And I think maybe part of that has to do with the recency of just watching what he did this past Saturday a few days ago. But he had a team-high 11 tackles. And after the first quarter, we went to a commercial break, and I was calling that game, and I thought to myself, have I said anyone's name on defense other than Draco Statham? It just felt like he was in on every single play. He was making tackles. He was disrupting passes. He had great coverage downfield where he wasn't even letting Peterson throw to his wide receiver. So I really liked Statham's play. I thought he brought a ton of energy to this Bucks team that maybe they haven't had in weeks past. And I do also want to give a quick shout out to Giovanni Sanders as well, because we know in this league it's a lot about the quarterback. And when you bring in a new quarterback this late in the season, it can be tough to get into a rhythm a little bit. Thought he played really well the last 3 weeks, and he's really taken charge of this offense. So Statham for me has been big, but then Gio as well at the quarterback spot, in a spot that's not easy to just jump into in the IFL. He's done a really nice job.
Just one game left, kind of an odd scheduling anomaly that the Bucks have a bye before that. But regardless, Bucks won't be making the playoffs. The bye, then the last game at Northern Arizona. What do you think the Bucks are trying to accomplish over these last couple weeks?
Well, for the guys individually, like you won't see the lack of effort at the end of a season when the teams aren't in the playoffs, and that's because these guys are trying to make a roster for next year. And whether that's here in Bismarck or whether that's another IFL roster, maybe it's another CIF roster, maybe they're trying to get some CFL looks. I mean, this is big for those guys that every single time you step out on the field, you have an opportunity to improve your stock and make sure that you continue to be a better player. And then team as a whole, these guys aren't all, a lot of them have had some roster turnover, haven't been here in a while, so they don't know individually the 10-game losing streak. Of course, they've heard it, they know it, but for them, they haven't individually lost 10 consecutive games. So these guys are still just trying to figure out a rhythm together, and more importantly, no matter what level you play, you want to go out on a good note. So you're not making the playoffs, but you have an opportunity, one more game on the road, to win it against Northern Arizona.
He's Bucks broadcaster Noah Reed. Noah, thanks for joining us, brother.
Thanks so much for having me on again.
We'll take a short break, come back, and wrap things up here on the Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show.
Beck Communications is honored to be recently recognized with 3 Broadband Now awards. Beck Communications Cooperative was awarded in the categories of Top Internet Speeds Nationwide, Top 3 Fastest Internet Providers in North Dakota, and North Dakota's #1 Fastest Fiber Provider. It's only through the support of our members and customers that Beck Fiber delivers award-winning speeds and service. Thank you, Beck Communications Cooperative members and customers, for your years of continued support.
At Beck Communications, we've been planning for your future. Over the past decade, we've placed nearly 200,000 miles of dedicated fiber optics in the ground, enough fiber optic strands to circle the world 8 times. Taking no shortcuts, we connected every home and business in our service area with dedicated fiber optics. It's your personal, unrestricted, unthrottled connection to the world. Best of all, this dedicated fiber means you do not share your connection. We call this intimate, dedicated connection Beck Fiber. Who do you trust with your digital life? Not all cloud backup providers keep your data truly private. Beck Cloud Backup uses advanced multi-layer encryption to keep your family photos, videos, and sensitive business documents secure and only for your eyes. Your Beck Lightband Internet service already includes 50 gigs of free storage to keep your digital life safe and secure. Call us at 701-475-2361 to start using your Beck Cloud Backup today.
Nick Bolton here with the latest from Bell & Howell. We call them tack glasses. Inspired by the sunglasses worn by our heroes in uniform, tack glasses block blinding glare so well, invisible objects suddenly become visible. Enhance colors to give you vision as sharp as an eagle's and survive even the harshest conditions. Look, ordinary sunglasses just make things darker, which could be deadly in a tactical situation. Tack glasses improve optical clarity so you can see clearly, even in low light. If you've never seen how this light filtering technology works, check this out. Nothing to see, right? But look again as we hold up our tack glasses. A colorful American eagle is revealed. Amazing!
Act now to get your tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. So don't delay. Order yours today.
To order, call 1-800-288-9503. That's 1-800-288-9503, or order online at trytackglasses.com. 1-800-288-9503.
Welcome back inside the Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show, everybody. David Sugarman here. Only a couple minutes left and only a couple of weeks left in the season. A bye week this week, unfortunately, and then the final game of the year against the Northern Arizona Wranglers, one of the better teams in the IFL this season. So only a couple weeks left means we've only got a couple more prizes to give out. So pay attention here for our keyword this week. it is finished. Unfortunately, the Bucks aren't going to be making the playoffs, but head coach Rod Miller was clear. He still wants this team to finish the season with character, with pride, and hopefully with a victory. So they'll tune up in this bye week and then hopefully finish on a strong note on July 9th when they take on the Northern Arizona Wranglers. So the keyword is finished. Take that to Bismarck Bucks Football on Facebook, at Bismarck Bucks on Twitter, or at Bismarck_Bucks on Instagram. No more home games for the Bucks this season, but we're still giving out great swag and prizes. So keep competing for your chance to win something. Some cool Bismarck Bucks paraphernalia. With all that in mind, let's take a look at the Bucks' upcoming schedule, and not a whole lot upcoming. Just lost in their final home game to the Iowa Barnstormers, their 10th straight loss, unfortunately. The Bucks trying to bounce back. They've got the bye week, and then once again, the Northern Arizona Wranglers on the road, their final game of the season. Hard to believe another season has flown by here in the IFL. One more game Saturday, July 9th at Northern Arizona. Of course, we'll have coverage of that game here on Beck Sports. That'll do it for this week's Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show. For Noah Reed, who helped us out this week, and our entire crew behind the scenes making this show possible, I'm David Sugarman saying so long. Enjoy the bye week. Enjoy the rest. No Bucks action this week. We'll be back with another show next week. Get you tuned up for the Bucks' final game of the season against Northern Arizona. Until then, so long and have a safe week.
Now you can have the personalized forecast at your fingertips when you need it. Beck's exclusive Weather Insight is information tailored to you. Radar, weather alerts, forecasts, and videos. Download the free Weather on Beck News app. Search your app store now.
We have always said, and will continue to say on this show, that it's not enough to just trust the plan. This has been the reality in Mexico for close to 2 decades now.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. I'm a 6th generation farmer, husband, patriot, father. And as much as I'd love to just sit here under this shade tree and celebrate my own place on my front porch, truth of the matter is that people don't know who, where, and how is producing their food. So travel the country with Trent on the loose, and we'll find those interesting human interest stories behind the people that bring us the efficient food supply. Trent on the loose.
We're the ladies of Another View.
You think about the kind of person who is stupid enough to think that they can raise a tiger.
Bringing you our take on local issues.
Off your shirt. Sunburn, you better take care when you can't stand to sit down in your favorite chair.
Views you won't see anywhere else.
And it's like a river wearing down sharp stones and softening them up.
Catch us weekdays at 4:30 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Lori Hins here with No Apologies on Beck. You've got a movie.
Of course I've got a movie. What do you mean?
You are the king of all media. How silly of me. Where we bring you our after-hours oasis of sanity.
You're going to see that this is an intentional destruction of the United States in 3 very intentional ways.
Every Saturday and Sunday.
There was not a single pro-life women's voice in Congress at that time.
On Beck and Beck.News.
If you've got the TV volume way up right now, then you really need these. These tiny but powerful little hearing aids are the Nano CIC Recharge, priced at only $297 for a full pair. These are not simply amplifiers. These are ultra high quality, ultra reliable hearing aids, priced thousands less than other hearing aids. They fit right in your ear. Nothing shows in the back of your ear. Payments as low as $36 a month.
Call 1-800-431-3690.